I'm Mitch Fox, president of the Nevada Broadcasters Association, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Nevada on the Air, a program that highlights the leaders and innovators and out-of-the-box thinkers who are shaking things up and making a big difference in communities throughout the state of Nevada. I'm extremely pleased to have North Las Vegas Mayor John Lee join me today. I've known Mayor Lee for many, many years, maybe 20 or more years. I got to know him when I covered the Nevada State Legislature as a political reporter. He was in the State Assembly, and then he went over to the State Senate, and then he was elected mayor of North Las Vegas. He's been elected mayor twice, and I'd like to welcome my good friend, Mayor John Lee.
Thank you, Mitch. It's nice to be here, and it's also to follow your wonderful career, too, and to see you working with this great organization.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor. I appreciate that. Let's go back just a little bit. When you were first elected mayor, everybody remembers those days. If they don't, we need to remind them. This city was struggling financially, and that was an understatement. And you believed that the city's best days were ahead of you. You always had faith that the city would turn around.
I looked at all the assets. If I was going to buy a city, I would have bought North Las Vegas at that time. We were 2 weeks away from probably having to give our charter back. It was horrible. We dropped 18 levels if you add up all the ratings that we, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, and those ratings. There was really no reason to believe this would happen, but I was skepticistic. I think it wouldn't happen, but I thought I could do it. I grew up in North Las Vegas. Mitch, you wouldn't let the Nevada Broadcasters Association fail. You wouldn't let your church fail or your youth organizations fail. I couldn't do that. I couldn't let the Boy Scouts fail, and I couldn't let North Las Vegas fail. Things that made me who I am, I at least had to give my best, and we've given our best, and we've done well.
You had the vision, really the decisive leadership to make North Las Vegas the turnaround town. That's what people are calling it now. And we'll go into all the successes and all the great things that are going on in the city. But did you have like a plan in place? Did you think to yourself, this is where I see the city, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
Actually, when you hired John Lee, I don't really consider potholes and street lights and traffic lights my big issue. We have great city manager, Ryan Juden. We got great directors. They do all that stuff. If you call me with an issue, I'll turn it over to them. But you hired John Lee to know where we're going to be 10 years from now. And as I looked 10 years in advance, I figured this town was going to be the deal breaker for us. We were no longer going to be gaming, tourism, and hospitality. We could take this asset and diversify this economy. And my goal was to diversify Southern Nevada, make it a more regional and international city. Number two is to drive up the property values in North Las Vegas had just plummeted. So the people who own homes there, the number 2 form of savings in America, retirement is equity in your home. We were hurting when it came to that. And number three is, I think it hit me one day that we had people who couldn't pay their water bills. They couldn't do all this. They were just trying to survive. That if I could diversify the incomes of the families in North Las Vegas. So Mitch, if your wife worked at Caesar's Palace dealing cards and you were over at the Treasure Island and in engineering, 2 great jobs, but if an airplane hits another building, sad thing in America, you're losing your job too. So if we could diversify that family's income, Mitch, let her stay at Caesar's. That's a great gig. But maybe he could come over to North Las Vegas and build something, manufacturing something that would be sold somewhere else in the world. So we wouldn't be so tied into the tourism market. And that's my goal. At the end of the day, if I leave here, and that's what I've done, everything else is just cake. The icing is to stabilize those families and bring property values up for them.
You know, when I came to the city as a communications director, it was a great couple of years that we worked together on a lot of projects, one of which was getting water out to Apex. And it almost seemed like, excuse the pun, like a pipe dream to get it out there. But it's going to become a reality, isn't it?
It is. We have, out of the bowl of the valley, going towards Utah, and 93 and 15, we have 18,000 acres out there, Mitch, that has more power that runs through there. The Kern River pipeline for natural gas runs through there. It's the most exciting piece of property in the Southwest. It just lacked water. And so we looked at public-private partnerships. We looked at all the things we could do, and finally a developer stepped forward and said, I can't wait for you guys anymore. 12 miles from where the Speedway is, across the street, there's a place called Mannheim's Auto Auction. We have 9 million gallons of water that's unused in our allotment that's just sitting there waiting to move on towards Apex. So he came in and said, would you guys mind, I can't wait for you, if I just dig and put an 8-inch line or a 6-inch line, whatever he was going to need, and get moving. We said, no, we will not allow you to do that unless you let us upsize it. We want to oversize that water pipe so we can bring water to all that property going out to Apex. So not only are you going to have some success, but all those other property owners out there are going to finally have a chance to utilize their property. But the jobs, the opportunity, the diversification we already talked about, everything big that's going to happen in Southern Nevada is going to happen in North Las Vegas. I get it. There's a stadium being built, but that will be finished soon. There's another hotel. There's a convention center. There's things happening, Mitch. They will complete. For the next 10 to 15 years, North Las Vegas is going to be continuing to supply money to this to this community, and it's going to be operating and diversifying jobs. If this is where money is, Mitch, it's going to North Las Vegas's valley. It's your people who are watching the show's opportunity to get in the middle of it if they can some way.
Let's talk about jobs, because that's a big deal right now with Amazon and Sephora coming online. How's that going to impact?
Well, it's greatly. The footprint for Amazon is 2.4 million square feet, 800,000, 3 levels. The top 2 will be robotics. The bottom one will be people handling product. They're already 4 months in the process now. All the walls are stood up. The roof is going on. We will have probably 5,000 jobs where the I-15 and the 215 intersect in the next 2 years. 90% of that 1,100 acres is in some sort of development now, or plans check and things. We just opened the road that goes out there off Tropical. We have phase 2. It's going to go all the way over the Speedway and then back to the 15. The sewer line is coming up, Sloan right now as we speak. So we are already developing and building for things where the utilities are trying to catch up to the growth right now. So we've got great contractors doing our work for us to get out there in time to open up this industrial area.
Including the Speedway industrial area as well.
Oh, it'll tie right up to that. It'll be seamless. You won't even realize there's a difference between the Speedway and that part of the city.
Let's talk about quality of life issues, because there's a lot of residential communities that are springing up. I remember just when I was there along the 215, there's a lot of communities that were in the development stage, and now there's model homes.
Yeah, well, Valley Vista, which is up North Decatur, and the 215 up by the shooting range, the gun range up there, we've already got model homes going in up there. We've got 14,000 buildable lots right now that are being built, or plans are being set, or we're making changes to the master plan for these homes. My goal is to follow Henderson's lead a little bit. I think Henderson is a tremendous community. They had Old Henderson, and then Green Valley came in, and it took Henderson from a sleepy little town to some of the nicest homes in this whole state are in Green Valley. Our goal is if people move into below Cheyenne, eventually they get a good job and they get things going, they sell that home and they move above Craig Road and then finally above the 215, and they can stay in North Las Vegas their whole lives and continue to live in nicer communities as their income increases. So we're doing great things in homes.
And in terms of what people come to North Las Vegas to say, well, what is there for me to do? Let's talk a little about the fantastic library system that people may not be aware of. Let's address that.
No, we have the Library Director of the Year was in North Las Vegas a year and a half ago. We'll probably be there next year. We're actually building another library there. I think the greatest selling point in North Las Vegas right now is it doesn't have the traffic problems. I did mention Henderson, but Henderson, if you're going up Eastern or some other cities, they're like little mini freeways out there. We have great roads in North Las Vegas. We have great air in North Las Vegas. We have Craig Ranch Park that does so much stuff.
A lot went on this summer at Craig Ranch Regional Park, didn't it?
Exactly. I mean, has a big amphitheater. We have a lot of big community events. We're a festival city. We don't want to compete with the Strip for headliners, but there's a lot of the San Gennaro feasts and the Veterans Day events are going on there. All across the Southwest, people are coming to our area now, and the number one reason is because we don't charge for parking the way the hotels are doing it. A lot of those good events that the hotels used to have are now coming to our community. So we have a free, when I say a free society, I mean, people just go to work, they come home, they play baseball, they go to soccer. There's structure at the city, at the senior centers. We love North Las Vegas. We're doing great things to enhance the quality of life in North Las Vegas.
One last question has to do with education. You really care about what's going on in your schools
I do.
and the community college system even in the city of North Las Vegas. Tell us about that.
I do. I believe if these are the four corners of North Las Vegas, these are the corporate boundaries, I'm responsible. If somebody calls up with an education question, I don't say, well, you'll have to call your trustee from the school district. No, we get involved. We work with our families. Our families want choice. I love the Clark County School District. I did great in the school district. My children did. My grandchildren go to it. But some people want choice. So every private school, every pro-career school, every charter school, anything that I can get that enhances the quality of education in North Las Vegas, we're going to get. We think the community college system in North Las Vegas is excellent. CSN North Las Vegas is the biggest campus that they have. Everything you want to do to enhance your life, you can find in North Las Vegas educational system. And we're going to continue to bring in more. And these aren't just little schools in shopping malls. These are world-class schools we're bringing in from all over the United States for our children there. So we're pumped about our education.
Fantastic. Mayor Lee?
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you for
What a
joining
nice
us.
conversation with you.
It was great. It was great. And we're out of time, so I'd like to thank you for joining us. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.